hand over the microphone to Bashir Ahmed to conduct the session.
Topic of our first session is basic facts of asthma and COPD. We have 3 speakers of the session. Each speaker will get 8 minutes time. First of all, I request each of the speakers to complete their topics within their fixed time. First of all, I request Dr. Bishar Akhtar Hussain to present his topic, Situation of Asthma and COPD in Perspective of Bangladesh.
My topic is asthma and COPD situation in context of Bangladesh. First, I am going to asthma. Asthma has been considered as one of the major health problems throughout the world. In Bangladesh, asthma is currently a big. In Bangladesh, asthma is also a big problem. The first national asthma prevalence study was done in 1999, and it was first interview was taken with housewives or other guardians at the household level through a written question or done on the basis of ISAC question. Socio-demographic profile. In our study population, 67% was adults and 33% was children. Male-female ratio was 1.03:1, and it is like national figure almost 1.05:1. And the Muslims were 85.50% and Hindus were 14.10, and very negligible amount was from others to religions. Economic status of the families. The study families, among the study families, 24.20% was deficit budget, and 29.80 was surplus budget, and the rest 44.20 was balance. Literacy rate. Among the population, the study population, no schooling was 22.40%, and primary level education was 32.40%, and secondary level was 28.3%, and higher secondary and above was 16.90%. Profile of risk factors on concomitant atopic illness. Allergic rhinitis was the most common concomitant atopic illness. It was 42% among the patients, and 22.40 was allergic conjunctivitis, and 26.60 was allergic dermatitis. Family history for atopic illness. 48.90, about 50% of the patient was with family history of atopic in any form, and 51% in the patients, the other members of the family was not with any atopic history. Triggers identified. The most common trigger for asthma was cold exposure. It was in almost 81%. Dust and fumes, next 52.7%. Physical exercise in third position, 43.8%. Specific food and drink was in 20.4% of the patients. Animals and insects are the 1.9%. Prevalence of asthma officers, Evaru is 8.9%, recent is 7.7%, and in children, Evaru was 11%, recent was 9%, current asthma 5.2% in adults and 5.2% in also children. We perceived asthma 8.3% in adults and 10.4% in children. Doctors diagnosed asthma 4.6% in adult and 5% in children. Night cough was 10.2% in adults and 8.3% in children. Waking up at night cough 9.2% in adults and also same in children. Treatment scenario of asthma patient: 90% respondents, about 5,550 out of 6,073 gives history of taking some kinds of treatment. Allopathic treatment 87%, admission in hospital was the lowest, it was 12%. Homeopathic treatment was 42% and spiritual treatment 28%. Inhalation therapy using only 11% of the patients. More than 90% did not take modern treatment with preventive medicine. Though there are different inhalers, but our experience from these studies is that by inhaler almost everyone understands salbutamol. About, easy is mistaken here, about 9% patients do not use medicine at all. Conclusions: true prevalence of asthma is more than assumption. Prevalence of asthma is more among children than adults. Male children are affected more than females, whereas it is almost equal in both the sexes in adults. Younger children suffer from asthma more than older children. Prevalence of asthma in Bangladesh is similar to neighboring countries, but less than in UK, USA, Australia, and New Zealand. In Bangladesh, asthma is more prevalent among people of low socioeconomic condition. Contrary to popular belief, asthma is more prevalent in rural areas and district towns than in metropolitan cities. Regarding concomitant atopic illness, allergic rhinitis is the most commonest, followed by allergic dermatitis. Conclusions: exposure to cold is the commonest trigger of an attack of asthma, followed by dust, fume, physical exercise, specific food and drinks, animals and insects. Exposure to passive smoking is an insignificant factor observed in this study. Only 11% patients suffering from asthma are with inhalation therapy. Policy recommendation: asthma guidelines should be formulated on the basis of consciousness. It should be uniformly practiced nationwide by all physicians. Asthma awareness program for common people should be undertaken. Orientation course on updated asthma management for doctors at all levels should be organized. Establishment of second phase of National Asthma Center should be hastened. A smooth referral system for asthma patients should be developed. Further studies for elaboration of present findings need to be undertaken. Association of these factors with asthma should be further evaluated. Asthma symptoms are frequent. Here you can find that about 56% of the patient are to take rescue. SABA means short-acting beta agonist. In Asia Pacific, it is about 56% patients, and 63% patients of Europe takes SABA in at least one time or more in a year, and 61% patients of USA takes at least once a year the short-acting beta agonist. At least one sleep disturbance per week. It is 28% in USA and 30% in both in USA and in Europe. It is 30%. At least one sleep disturbance per week, but in Asia Pacific it is 28%. Implementation: National Asthma Guidelines for medical practitioners formulated, published and distributed to all physicians. Today, the new edition we are giving to you. Published 5 booklets covering various aspects of asthma to distribute among the patients. Asthma Association has made various documentary films on asthma shown regularly